I've been looking forward to doing this one for a couple of days now. I've had this kit since Saturday last week, I think. Yeah, but I've only just got round to putting it together now. So this is the newest IPS kit from China, the Retro Pixel or OSD kit as it's called. So as always, as in the previous IPS installation that I did, I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut the shell, because that's just boring watching plastic being trimmed and stuff. So I've just gone ahead and pre-trimmed the shell as best I can. Well, not really as best I can, but it's good enough for me, since this is going to be my own personal console. So I've gone ahead and trimmed the shell. Don't think there's anything I need to do to the back housing. I'll have to put a label on there, I guess. Put that to one side for now. Yeah, so I'm kind of just winging this. I mean, there are no, as far as the timing of this video, there aren't any other videos on this kit. So I'm just gonna wing it, I guess. I've already sort of gone ahead and, you know, connected the screen to the PCB. I've put the little insulating sticker on there. I've put an insulating sticker on there that comes with the kit as well, so that the PCB doesn't short out on there. Gone ahead and done that. All just basic stuff that you don't really need to say. This isn't supposed to be a tutorial or anything. This is more so just a what's it like, I guess. You know, test it out, see what it's like. So yeah, other things I've done, I've trimmed down the pins here on the cartridge slot. You know, the cartridge slot pins that stick through. I've went ahead and trimmed those flush, as you do for most Game Boy Color kits. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna wing it. So oops, I've nearly pulled that sticker off there. It comes off quite easily. So this kit has points here that you can solder wires to, which you connect up to the buttons so that you can, you know, mess with the OSD. So I'll be wiring those up at some point. I don't know if I want to do those first or if I should just, I don't know really how to do this. I guess I'll just plug it in and see if it works. So I think what I'll do is, well, I think the first thing I want to do is get the screen lined up in the shell. So what I'll do is I'll just put the back shell on. Actually no, because I need access to the ribbon connector there. So I think what I'll do first is I'll connect the screen up to here. Like so. Just close that connector there, like that. So the screen is now connected. I've still got the protective film on the screen just to, you know, so you don't get finger marks on it and stuff. Because nobody likes finger marks on the screen. Right, so these things are terrible. They come off so easily. Let's put that back on there. Right, so I need some batteries to put in here, which I've got here. I can literally just, oops, hang on, it's coming out the shell. There we go. Right, so with that plugged in like that, I should be able to just power this up now. Not getting any reflection there now. Yeah, there we go. So by default it looks like the pixel effect, you know, the pixel grid effect is active by default, which looks really good. I think that looks pretty damn good to me. Looks pretty authentic. I will say that much. I've replaced the LED on this as well, in case you're wondering. I like blue. So that works, which is good. Now as far as lining the screen up, the way I like to do it is, it's going to be difficult because of the way the ribbon is. It kind of opens out like that. But the way that I like to do it is I kind of just grab the screen somehow like this and just like feed it into the shell, I guess, like that. This is the way I do it personally. I'll line it up and then I'll just kind of stick it in place like that. But first things first, I need to get some adhesive on there. Now the kit does come with adhesive, but it's not really it's not really going to fit around there very well, so at least not the way I want to do. Yeah, you see, I don't know if you can see, but the line there at the top is it's in line with where I've cut, but at this side here it's sticking further out from this cut here, so that's not going to work. But that's okay, because I have some well, I thought I did. Oh, here it is. I have some adhesive over here which I can use, which will work just as good. Right, is this too thick or will this work? No, it's too thick. Okay. I've got some thinner stuff here. This should work fine. Find the end of it first. There it is. Now I don't know how long does this need to be. Let's have a look. I'll just pull some off like that. Snip that off. This is probably going to be... Actually, no, this might be too short. Move that out of the way a second. Right, is this too long or is it too short? Oops. It should be alright, I think. Let's see. It's hard to see where this is. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll go ahead and stick that down, if I can. Would help if I stuck it on straight, of course. Like that. Yeah, that's fine. Now, a lot of people who do these kits opt not to do this, like stick the screen down, because of, like, you know, what happens if you want to take the screen off at some point, which is a perfectly valid argument. It's a perfectly valid argument, and I would probably do that myself, but like I say, this is my own kit for my personal use, and I'd rather the screen... I don't plan on taking it out of the shell once it's in, so I'd rather the screen didn't have any, you know, dust under it and things like that. I think this piece is too long. Yeah, it is. That's fine. Yeah, I'd rather reduce the chances of dust getting under the screen as much as possible, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stick the screen down, I think. Now obviously the caveat to doing this is that you only get one chance to get this right. If you don't get this right first time, then you're screwed pretty much, because you'll probably... there's a 95% chance you'll destroy the screen trying to get it off once you've stuck it down. If you're not interested in the installation, by the way, you can skip ahead to where I actually test it out and test the features, things like that. Actually, I'll do this side first. So this is obviously too long, but that's fine. I'm just gauging how long it needs to be. Then I'll snip it short, like so. I could do some better snippers, but that's okay. Yeah, stick that down like that. That is fine. Yeah, when I do these videos, I prefer to just get the boring stuff, the boring simple stuff done first, like trimming, cutting the shell and stuff. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do that. You know, the way I did it, in case you're wondering, the way I did it was I just used the lens, which is here, to measure out how much I needed to cut. And then I just scored it with an X-Acto knife, this one. I just scored it a few times, and then I just broke it off with a pair of pliers. Broke the little piece of plastic off with a pair of pliers, and that worked fine for me. What you will find though is, when you do it that way, the plastic from being bent will turn white, and you don't want white plastic. You don't want to be able to see white plastic. So I usually use a Sharpie, in this case a blue Sharpie marker, to colour it in so it kind of blends in a bit more. I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Maybe not. I hate when that happens. Right. You hate that when you have a sneeze, you think you're going to sneeze and then it doesn't come. It is still there, like, I can feel it. I can feel it in my nose. Right, last piece. Snip this off of here. That's the last bit I need from that. Yeah, this stuff's, I like this stuff. This stuff's good. It's nice and thin. I think it's actually designed for mobile phones. Like mobile phone screens. I think that's what this stuff's designed for. Now I need to get this the right length. Screw it, I'll just wing it. I've winged everything else up until now. Why not? Yeah, I think this stuff's primarily designed for like mobile phones and that sort of application. But it works great for this, so I'm going to use it. And it's all I have on hand at the moment. Okay. Now that that's done, now I can see that it's not exactly flush over here. So there will be gaps where dust can potentially get in, but I don't know if you can tell there, but it like dips in a little bit there. So there will be a gap there and there, but that's unavoidable really. I mean, unless you've got like a, what do they call them? Where you could just, I can't remember what you call it, but where you have like a drill bit and it goes around and it does everything flush. You probably know what I mean. If you've got one of them, you can flatten it out, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to go with what I've got. Right, how do I want to do this bit? Let's see. Do I just put the lens on first and then stick the screen down, or should I do the screen? No, I think I should probably put the lens on first. Yeah, that's probably the best idea. I'll take the backing off this adhesive first. Should I use that or should I? Oh, I'll use this. This will probably work better. Because this stuff can be a little bit fiddly when it comes to getting the backing off. Sometimes anyways. So we'll get this off. Come on, don't be like this. I'll try from this side. There we go, that's better. Right. That is perfectly fine. Now this is the bit that I hate doing, because you're guaranteed to always get at least a speck of dust under it somewhere. It's gonna happen. So I may as well just go with it. So this lens should get the backing off of it quite easily. I say that, but sometimes it's not as easy as it looks. That always happens. It always pulls off the outside part first, but then leaves the bit in the middle. And you've got to faff on with it with a knife to get it off. And there's always like multiple layers to it. Yeah, this is not fun. I need to look close. Hold on a second. Did I get under there? I can't tell if I'm getting all the layers off or not. Ah, there we go. I don't know why this has so many different layers. Okay, so go ahead and drop that down. Yes, there's finger marks on the screen. I am aware of that, and that's okay. Now, my aim now is to get this stuck onto here as quick as possible. So I'm going to switch the screen on. I might go out of shot here because I need to get in the right place to see if it's lined up. If I don't get this right the first time, then I'm screwed. So yeah, I need to get this right first time. That was not supposed to happen. What did I press there that made that come up? Or what did I touch there? I don't even know what I touched. Turn that over, because that is how you get dust. On the screen, he says as he concentrates extremely hard. So something is activating all the different stuff on this. Right, I may be out of shot here, so I apologise in advance. No, it's stuck down. No, it's not. It's fine. Okay, hang on. As long as it's straight. Hang on a second. There we go. Now it's straight. Now the cool thing about this kit is, even if it's not straight, like you could probably see that it's not exactly straight in the, like inside the lens there. Like it might look a bit off, I guess you could say. It's more over to this side, but that's the benefit of this kit, is that it's got a mind of its own apparently. The OSD, you can move the screen anywhere you want. like left, right, up, down. So it doesn't have to be centered perfectly in the lens. As long as it's straight, I mean, if it's, you know, if you've got it like this, it doesn't matter where you're going to move it, it's going to be off. But as long as you get it lined up straight like this, then, you know, it doesn't matter if it's slightly off center, left or right, up or down. You can move it into place. Now, something is obviously, it's probably these touch sensors at the top here, because it's messing on with the brightness, so yeah. Okay, so this one up here activates, I think it's this one, seems to activate the pixel effect, although it's not actually doing anything now. Well, whatever the case it's in, for now I think I'll turn this off. Take the batteries out. I've got a bit of a sweat on now after doing that. Because like I say, you only get one attempt at that, and if you get it wrong, then you're screwed. And I almost got it wrong, but I think I did quite well there. Right, now the thing you have to do now is be careful, because there's a ribbon cable here. You do not want to tear that ribbon cable, for obvious reasons. So what I'll do is I will take this out of the shell very carefully, like so. Right, so now that's out of the shell, what I can do is flip that over like that. I wonder what that was shorting out on. Maybe it'll be fine when I put it together. We'll see. Anyways, what do I want to do now? Let's see. I should probably, actually, I know what I'll do. Bring this back over. These touch sensors need to go. I'm going to take the screen off first. I realise I'm probably just rambling right now, but like I say, I'm just winging this, so I'm kind of just going, as I'm doing it, I'm deciding what I want to do next and, you know, where to go from here kind of thing. So I think what I'll do is I'll get these touch sensors in place. Usually I would have a, you know, a routine, so to speak, of how to do this, because I've done loads of like GBA, IPS kits and stuff, but this is the first time I've done this kit, so this is all new to me. Right, I should probably bend that round like that, because I'm going to want to stick it in this corner here. Tweezers, they would be handy. I get the feeling this isn't going to stick down, because these little strips are crap. They just don't stick. No, it's not going to stick. Right, I think what I'll do is, because I actually have some of this, I think I'll make my own. I have some of this stuff over here, which will actually be sticky, so it will work. I've got some of this here, which will work just fine. So we'll cut some strips of this off. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll make sure my soldering iron's on first, which it is. And so I'll cut about that much, I think. Cut that piece in half. Where did I put me other tweezers? Me smaller ones, I don't know where I've put them. Okay, so what I want to do is get a tiny bit of solder onto these, like that. Yeah, solder in the corner, like so. Yeah, I don't like these ones because, like, with them, like, I'm feeling that now, it's just not sticky at all. That gets very hot very quickly. That hurt. I did a silly. Yes, that is very silly. That's better. And what I can do now, I can actually attach these . I apologise if this is out of frame. Pick it up then. There we go. That's the wrong way. Right. That's better. These might actually stick in place. That is, if I can get the backing off. Apparently not. There we go. That's better. See, this stuff feels better than the other stuff. That's quite... This is a lot thinner, I think. So it's easier to move around and stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is bend it round. Like so. Stick it in place. Yeah, this is a lot easier to stick down. So now that that's stuck in place, I can just push this wire down here like this. And then that's the wire out the way. Like that. So that's one down and one to go. But yeah, these aren't fun to stick down. That I will say. We've always got to play around with different corners to see which one comes up. Which one plays ball. None of them so far. It's hard to see what I'm doing here. Yep, I think I've got it. There we go. So straighten that corner back out a bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to bend this round. Right, this is a funny angle, so I'm going to come round here like this. So I can actually see where this is going. Which I can. And get this stuck in place. Is that down as far as it'll go? I don't think it is. There we go, now it is. Alright, we'll just get that stuck in place. I think that's going to be in the way. So I think what I'll do is I'll just bend this corner down slightly. Like that. So that it's not in the way. Here we go. Do I have one of those somewhere? I think I do. But I can't. Ah, over here. Yes, here we go. Now I always forget which way round this goes in. I think it's this way. I think it's this way. But it probably isn't. No, it's probably not. So we'll try that way. So probably screaming at me like it's the wrong way. Yes, it is the wrong way. Yes, it most definitely is the wrong way. And I feel like that tape is in the way. That does not want to go down, does it? I think that's as far as that'll go. Yeah, it definitely looks like it is. Okay, we'll go with that then. We will go with that. Now, buttons. I probably shouldn't worry about the buttons right now. But they do need a clean. These buttons have just come straight out of this donor Game Boy, so they're a little bit on the dirty side. So I'm going to give them a quick once over with some IPA. Just give them a quick once over like that with some IPA, just to get the muck off. Nobody likes dirty buttons. Delicious. Delicious. Let's give that a quick once over. Give these a bit of a clean. Okay, now the buttons themselves will need a bit of a clean as well, but I'll do them in a second. What I wanted to do first is clean these before I forget, because I will forget. Right, those are clean. That's good. I'm going to quickly give these a clean. Some IPA on there. Give them a bit of a scrub with this toothbrush. Okay, that'll do. Right, so buttons are clean. I suppose the buttons I could have done off camera as well, but yeah, I'm kind of winging it. So what can I do? Sue me. Let's get rid of some of this crap that is not needed anymore. Okay, so I'm happy with the screen. I'm happy where the screen is. Let's get rid of that bit of IPA there. I'm happy where the screen is. Next is the connections for select A and B. Now I don't know if you need to connect the ground pad up here or this battery one. I know this kit has a battery indicator that you can enable, so that must be what that's for, I'm assuming. There's a battery tab solder point there. That probably connects to somewhere. I don't know where that is off the top of my head. So, but I'm not too bothered about battery level indicators and stuff, so I'm not going to connect that up, but you can do that. I'm not even sure if it's necessary to connect that up. It might just work. I'll find out when I test it. But for now I'm just going to connect up select A and B so that I can actually get into the OSD once I've got it all assembled. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these up now with this bit of wire. Now the way I'm trying to think in my head of the best way to do this, and I'm thinking that it's probably going to be, because this will be connected like this, so I'm just going to connect the screen up. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the screen over, the PCB over like this. I'm going to fold the PCB over like this. And that will allow me to solder, I'll probably get this in shot a bit better. That'll allow me to solder these wires to these points here and then connect them to wherever they need to go on the board. Now I do know, because I've checked off camera, that there's points down here for select and B, I believe. But I think A, the test point for A, is not there. I couldn't find it. It might be somewhere else, but I can't find it there. So I'm just going to connect the test point here to A. So what I'm going to do first is wake my soldering iron up. I'm going to put a tiny drop of flux, if I can get it to come out, which it doesn't want it for some reason. Hold on a second. There we go. So I'll put a tiny drop of flux there and there. I just want to tin up these test points. So it's that bottom one there, which for some reason isn't tinning. There might be a bit of some like kind of lacquer kind of stuff that's covering up the test point. Yeah, it looks like there's probably some kind of lacquer there, so I'll give it a scrape and see if I can get this solder to stick to it. What I'm going to do first is clean up that mess. The mess that I made there, I'm going to clean it up. I'll have another go at it. So I'm just going to scrape away at that a little bit. Obviously, if you do this, be careful not to cut through the trace. Otherwise you'll have to find somewhere else to solder the wire to. So let's try that again. Drop the flux. Where did I put my solder? There it is. There we go. I got the solder to stick that time. And this top one's still being a bit stubborn though. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to double check those are the right test points because I know what mine looks like. I'll solder them in and they'll end up being wrong. So, select is that one there, and B is that one there. And obviously A is here. Yep. That's not ground, is it? It is ground. Ah, hang on a sec, that's ground. Right, okay. So B is not there. See, if I had gone and done that, I would have I would have spent all night looking for where that was. Okay, so it looks like A and B are not over on this side. Okay, that's fine. I can just use the 2 test points. I don't want to spend all night. I think the test points for these will probably be over this side somewhere, but that's underneath the installation, so not much I can do there. I'll just use the test points, that's fine. Not a problem. It would be nice if I could just get them all soldered there and then you could just run all the wires there. But no. So I'm just going to go ahead and tin up these test points here. Like so. And like I say, I'm only going to do select A and B for now. Right, so we'll put a wire on select. And that will go all the way down. This wire is actually just the right length. That's handy. Let's get that on there. A bit of solder on the board there. Get that off. Now this is a weird angle. So can I just fasten that down there? Yes, I can. Cool. So there's select done. And I'm going to do B next. And A. Get them tinned up. Wire. There we go. Another piece of wire. So that's A. Do I want to shorten A? Should I shorten it? Yeah, I probably should. Might as well do it properly. Right, so A is going to come down to here. So I'm going to want to snip that about there. I should just be able to strip this with my fingernail, like so. Okay. Now, this is a little awkward. If I can get my fingers in. That's good enough. I think with the transparent shell is you're going to see these wires through the shell. unavoidable, but it is what it is. It's not a problem. Some people might not like it, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So this one I'll cut to about a year long. Strip that wire. Let's quickly tin that up. It'd be helpful if I bent it down a little bit so it actually touches the board. There we go. Right. So there's all the wires soldered. Like I say, the battery point will probably go somewhere as well, but I'm not certain, so I'll leave it for now. I don't know if the guide for this kit on AliExpress actually tells you where to solder that to. I don't think it did when I last checked it, but they may have updated it since then. I'm not entirely certain. But like I say, I'm just going to leave it for now. This D-pad could still use a bit of a clean. I don't really want to spend all day cleaning it though. Let me have a look. Just trying to get some of the dirt off of this D-pad. I find IPA doesn't really work all that well. You're much better off cleaning these in soapy water, like washing up liquid or something. That seems to get the dirt off a lot easier, or a lot better. Anyways, yeah, there is still some dirt on the side there, whatever. If it noises too much, I'll clean it later. It's not really important for now. These are all original buttons and membranes. I don't like the aftermarket stuff, unless it's like quality stuff. Like the aluminum buttons that you can get from Retro CNC and Boxy Pixel, places like that. Those are good quality. But generally speaking, like the aftermarket stuff isn't that good. This shell in particular isn't really that good either, but it's all I've got at the moment, so it'll have to do. Now this is what I didn't really, this is really what I wasn't looking forward to with this kit, was having these wires coming down here and then having to fold it over. But it's pretty much unavoidable at this point, so I'm just going to have to go with it. Try and make it work. Because now I've got the wonderful task of trying to get this flush. And I've got wires sticking out the side, which I don't want. That doesn't feel very flush. What is going on with that? Now I'm just trying to work out why that doesn't want to sit flush. I think it's just the ribbon cable at the top, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it is. It's fine. I think it is actually flush. So for the most part, I think that's good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in now. If I remembered where I put them. Yes, I do. They're here. So there's one. This is 100% not the correct screwdriver for this job, but it turns the screw, so for now it'll do. Actually, these aren't tapped. This shell isn't tapped, so I'm going to need a stronger... I'm probably going to need a better screwdriver than this, to be fair. Yeah, I'm going to strip that screw. That's not going to work. Do I have a better screw? Yes, I do have a better screwdriver, actually. If you give me a second. Where is my screwdriver kit? Here it is. My iFixit kit. Which I've had for a long time. I will have a screwdriver bit in here that should work. Now, I believe, is it a GIS or is it a Phillips? I don't know. I'm just going to go with a Phillips for now, because I feel I've stripped it to the point where a GIS probably won't work very well, so I'll go with a Phillips. That is extremely tight. Wow, that's tight. I don't know. No, it isn't down all the way. Right, hold on a second, because that's very, very tight. I'm going to use this piece here to get a bit of extra leverage. Just as I've got a bit extra leverage to turn this screw. Right, I don't want to do that too much because I'm already stripping that screw, which I didn't want to do. It's the only problem with these aftermarket shells. And then the screw posts are not tapped, so you kind of have to go in and do it yourself. And it gets very difficult towards the bottom. Trying not to bend the shell too much, because I know these shells can be quite flimsy. Yeah, I'm just making sure the screw isn't poking through, because sometimes these aftermarket shells can be like that. Like, you know, you use the same screws but they don't actually fit properly. Right, I think that's down as far as it'll go. Yeah, that looks good. I'll go with that. Wow, it's really tight towards the end. Right, there we go. So that's fastened on. At least that's all threaded now. I don't have to worry about doing that again. Still feels like it's not sitting flush though. Like it's bending a bit. Okay, I'm just gonna stick the back on so I can test this, because I have a strange feeling I'm gonna get all kinds of weird like things happening on their own because of like something shorting out somewhere, and I can see a hair under the screen already, which is great. I'm gonna have to go in there afterwards and get that out. You might even be able to see it on the camera actually, right there. That's under the screen. That is marvellous. Hopefully this lens isn't stuck down too hard, and then I could probably get in there and get it out. But for now, let's use these to turn it on. Okay, so it's green and it's not freaking out, which is a good start. Do the touch sensors work? Yes, they do. Can I have the original palette? There we go. And that's the brightness. That also works. So at the moment, I'm quite happy with that. Does the button combination work? How does it work? Ah, there we go. So you hold select and you press A and B at the same time to bring up the OSD. Now, B goes down. So we've got V position. Right, let's see if I can get this positioned. Tell you what I'll do is I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in quite close so you can see what's going on. So you press select A and B to bring the screen up. And then you press B to go down. Now, is it A? No, A goes up, so is select doing it? Is that actually moving? I can't tell. No, it's not. So let me just work this out. So B goes down. Or select and B cancels, right. Ah, select and A, hold select, press A, allows you to select the option and then you can move it like so. So you can see it's moving up and down. So what I'm going to do quickly off camera, I'm going to line this up as best I can to my eyes. Like that. I think that's good enough. So selecting B cancels out of that. Selecting A goes in and you can move left and right. Oh, I realise you're off camera a bit there. So you can move left and right like that. So I'm going to do this off camera. So I'm going to center this as best I can. Oops. So if you make adjustments like that, now if you press select and B, it cancels out of it and it goes back the way it was. So that's good to know. So select A and B brings the menu up. B goes down. Selecting A selects the option. Then you press A to adjust up and B to adjust down. So I'll quickly line this up again, just off camera, like that. Select an A confirms, like so. And then you press B to go into the next menu. Then you've got the pixel effect. Now, battery display. Will this work? I'll tell you what, we'll turn that off first. Battery display, let's see if this works. It does work. You can see in the top corner there, but I don't know if that's like empty or full. I can't tell if that's empty or full. Not too sure if that's empty or full. It's probably not showing anything because it's not reading the battery gauge, because I don't have the battery point connected up, which is fine. At least I know. So I will turn that off for now. Color adjust. You can adjust the color of the palette, the current palette that you've got selected. Now this is probably not much use if you're playing a Game Boy Color game. You know, if you're playing a Game Boy Pocket, well, no, an original Game Boy game, you know, like Pokemon Red or something like that, something that isn't colour and would take advantage of colour palettes, you can use that to adjust the colour palette. Obviously factory mode, reset, they're pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, I mean, you can select these, you can adjust the colour palette like that to whatever you want. Green obviously takes green down, which I'm not going to do. As he confirms it, he says that. But yeah. And obviously blue will take your blue down, which I don't want to do. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Well, that's pretty much it for the options. Obviously brightness, you can turn the brightness up and down using that. Although to be honest, hang on a second. Turn that back to normal. Is that brightness setting? No, it's not, it's the same. It's just when you tap this up here, it doesn't update on here. So if I was to close the menu now and then open it again, it updates. 6 out of 20. Yeah, so yeah, that looks good. So the centering of the screen is pretty good. I think I got that pretty bang on, to be honest. It looks pretty nice. Like I say, as long as you get the screen lined up vertically, so it's not like bent either way. I keep touching that touch thing. As long as it's not bent either way, it should look good, because then you can just use the OSD to move it wherever you want. That's a great feature. That's a feature that should have been on all IPS kits from the start. At least I feel it should have anyways. That's a brilliant feature. But for now, I think I'll try a game out, because I think you've stayed at that screen for long enough. Right, do I have a game that I can put in real quick? Zelda Link's Awakening, I have that. So I'll just throw Zelda Link's Awakening here real quick. I'll bring it in a bit more again. I have no saves on this. So we'll just call it anything for now, just to be quick. So yeah, this is a really impressive kit, I will say. Very impressed with it. I'm just looking at it on the screen there. It looks very, very crisp, that's for sure. But you expect that from an IPS kit. You want it to look super crisp. Okay, so we'll just skip this for now. I still haven't played through this game yet. I really should. Come on, give me my shield. Thank you. I know how the shield works. Okay, cool. So, let's give the pixel effect a try. Because this is the main reason I wanted this kit, was to get the pixel effect. It's already present on DMG and Pocket kits. You can already get the pixel effect. But this is the first kit to come out that gives you this feature on the Game Boy Color. But it looks great. It really does look good. Yeah, no complaints. Not from me. It looks brilliant. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and screw this Game Boy together, for starters, because I don't have any screws in this yet. I literally just put it together and put the batteries in. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this together, and then it'll be done. I will spare you though. I'll just end this video here because you know how to screw a Game Boy together, I'm sure. But that's it really. I mean, it looks great. It's exactly what I expected. I highly recommend this kit if you're looking for a kit for the Game Boy Color. Not only is it, you know, an IPS kit, offers you the pixel effect and everything else, the custom color palettes and stuff. It's also a much bigger screen than the original Game Boy Color screen. I mean, look at the size of that screen compared to the original Game Boy Color. I mean, I could show you the original Game Boy Color screen. This is just the shell and the original screen from the donor that I used for this. But I mean, look at the size difference between them. I mean, you can't, I mean, that's just so good. I mean, I don't think there's any kit on the market yet for the Game Boy Color that offers a screen upgrade like that. So much better. But yeah, thank you for watching. As far as I'm aware, this is probably the first video on this kit so far. So if you've watched all the way through, then brilliant. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next video, whenever that is.